today. Just last week we talked about success, or a few weeks ago actually, success, and how it's not just about fame, power, and money, but it's about the depth of impact and relationships and purpose. And so we have a guy here that Stacy Lynn has personally met, and when she met him, she said, "Oh, he's successful."
That's right. You make everything weird.
No, this is not weird.
Well, I'm so excited to introduce you all to my new friend, Kieon Dorsey. Welcome to Because We Love You.
What's happening?
So I met Kieon at the gym, so you are now my personal trainer.
Especially.
Yeah, that's right. So who is Kieon? What's your deal? What's your story?
How much time we got?
As much time as you need.
I know that's right. Where do I start?
What's your degree in?
It's not fitness, believe it or not.
Yeah?
Yep. Bachelor of Science in Mechanical Engineering.
Okay.
4 years at North Carolina A&T State University.
Yeah.
Almost took a job, and that summer, my uncle, who rest in peace, he was like, you should go get a master's. They pay for those, and it's gonna give you a better chance to make more money when you do graduate. So I was like, shit, I really don't know what I'm ready to do anyway. So I went and talked to the chancellor of the Industrial and Systems Engineering Department, because I interned as a mechanical engineer, and engineers are weird. The only reason I wanted to be an engineer, honestly, is because attributes really good at math and science. That was my thing. It came to me naturally.
Yeah.
They say things that you do well that others struggle with. That's your gift. So my gift was math and science. My first gift, one of them. And but they were like weird. My internship, very square people. Nothing's wrong with that. Everybody is their own type of person. But I like people. But I also like the math and science part of it. So Professor Dr. Paul Stanfield at North Carolina A&T State University, he said, I think industrial and system engineering would be your thing. And that's really the study of engineering, of how people deal with system and processes. So signed me up for industrial and systems engineering master's program. I did that in 2 years with a concentration in management, a lot more along the lines of where I saw myself going. We all have to have a job and work and do something. So that's something I could see myself doing. I interned at Volvo Trucks North America. Volvo Trucks and Mack Trucks, their North American headquarters here in Greensboro, North Carolina.
Yeah.
I interned the summer I was finishing my thesis. They made me an offer. More money than I ever made. Yeah. So I couldn't turn it down. They pulled me right on after I graduated my master's in May. Should I keep going?
Did you feel like something, so you were working for Volvo and you were making money, did you feel like something was missing in your life? Were you on the prowl, or like what was happening internally?
Good question. I think life happens in like seasons. So my first year there, I got acclimated. I'm a perfectionist in some degree, so I wanted to learn the job. Everything I learned in school, I tell everyone, they don't teach you in college what you're going to do at your job. They give you the aptitude and the skill set to do it. But I wanted to learn my job. My first job title was associate engineer, so it was computer-aided design and engineering work. Kind of, if you're on a basketball team, it's kind of like water boy work. Nothing of major responsibilities that could really screw anything up. But you kind of get your feet wet in the industry. First corporate America job. So I was still learning, tackled it very quickly. In my 6-year tenure as an engineer, I did 4 promotions. I got promoted from associate engineer to lead engineer. To once I got exposed to other areas, I quickly transitioned to quality. Quality is the reactive side to issues. You have a proactive side, which is more of the advanced engineering, coming out with new things. The quality guys, they fix things. So when people F them up, we gotta fix them. Yeah. So I went from there to a quality leader to when I left, I was a project manager of quality for Volvo Trucks and Mack Trucks for North America. Fancy title, fancy job, company credit card, and I still was thinking about fitness every day. Every day. In between projects, I would be at my desk, writing up workouts, looking at YouTube on my phone. Of course, when the work was done.
Yeah.
But it was an itch.
So how did you make the transition to giving up that paycheck for maybe a leap of faith to go into fitness?
I don't think I gave it up. I think it found me.
Oh.
I think it found me. In 2014, I lost a best friend to took his own life.
Mm.
And at that point, it's one of those like coming to Jesus moments. It's like, realize you're not going to be here long. I had no kids, no wife at the time, still don't. And I was like,
so he is on the market.
Jesus Christ.
Single and ready to mingle?
Wow. Because this is video, so people can see they have two eyes.
They saw what Stacy saw. I was successful. But so I had already talked to the owner of the gym I'm at now. And we were talking, and you ever see like a box or a house? I guess a house is a really good analogy. You're like, man, if they changed the floors in this house, if they renovated it, some new appliances, we could really sell this house for a lot more than what it's worth.
Mm-hmm.
And I felt like as a facility, we were underachieving, not only with the staff, but the things that the facility had. So I had conversations with them. And I think the only thing that stopped those things from happening is someone being in that place. Because you kind of hear things. It's noise until it starts doing something. So it was just noise. We should change these floors. We have these analog clocks on the wall. It's 2015. People want digital clocks. People jump rope. They do high-intensity workouts. Think about some better equipment. So when I lost my best friend, it was like, we've been talking about this, but I'm thinking about doing it. So he was like, you serious? I was like, I'm thinking about it. And before we talk about it every 6 months, but it got to the point, it was an everyday conversation. It was like, I think you mentioned a leap. Then it was a leap of, I just pushed a button. Mm-hmm. And at that point, then you start looking around, and I'm so glad that I'm a self-driven person and so much of a leader, because had I listened to individuals around me, I wouldn't be here. I still would be successful, but I wouldn't have left Volvo, because I had about maybe 6 or 7 people I really trusted. Like, what do you think I should do? Like, man, you want to leave that good job, the benefits, that direct deposit, you got that company credit card. Don't forget that fancy title. And coming from where I'm come from, it just, even to be where I was, it was unprecedented. That's not something that you voluntarily let go. Most people were forced out of that situation. But I asked my mother, and she was the only one who I got her vote.
Oh, wow. She
was like, baby, if you want to do it, you can do it. So I was like, I'm going to do it.
Yeah.
So I said,
you bet on yourself, right?
100%, 100%. Big advocate of that.
Yeah.
So, like I said, I don't feel like it. Between me losing my best friend, it was something I already wanted to do. I felt like I was just steered in that direction. Sometimes when you don't leave situations, you're forced out of situations.
Oh yeah.
And not only was I forced out of Volvo by like the universe, I was actually forced out of the gym. How I even got to the gym that I was at. So many things had to happen for me to even be at the sports center, because I would have never left. Oh, and side note, that gym is a sports center athletic club.
Yeah.
3811 Samet Drive. First session's
right.
on me. Ask for Kieon.
Ask for Kieon.
But
big fan.
100%.
Gotta check it out if you're local.
Appreciate you. But I was at the Rush at one point. I believe it's Golds now. I would have never considered that opportunity. I would have never even thought about it. But I had to leave Golds or the Rush to be at Sports Center. And I wasn't in a bad place. I tell everyone, especially aspiring engineers, anyone who's thinking about Volvo, great company. It took my passion for me to leave there, because I didn't really have a lot of complaints. Work is work. Just like a relationship, they're going to be ups and downs. So if you're looking for,
I love that line,
if you're looking,
Kieon. It took my passion that made me leave. It
1,000%.
took a passion.
Yeah, if you're looking for Pleasantville,
awesome.
if you're looking for Pleasantville in anything, it's not going to happen.
I think that's important for people to remember. Sometimes we feel like if we're living in our purpose or pursuing our passion, that it's going to be easy. And certainly that's not the case, right? There's still going to be days that suck, like still days you go to the gym and it's hard work, right?
They're harder.
Yeah.
They're harder. As a corporate worker, I worked 40 hours a week. At 5 o'clock when I left work, I would leave work. The only time I caught myself working from home is if I worked from home that day, and most of us know if we work from home, we don't really work that 8 or 9 hours. We do some other things, so it's like I'll finish that when I get back.
Yeah.
But as an entrepreneur, I work from the time I wake up to the time I go to sleep.
Yeah.
And one of my mantras is, it's not because I got to, it's because I get to.
Love it.
And that's not only because that fuels me financially, but it fuels my business, it fuels my passion. And if you want something, you go get it.
Yeah.
So why fitness? Is it something that you've always been into and it's just kind of always been a passion, or what draws you to that?
100%. The time I was 5, probably younger, my mom would always tell me, get your ass outside, go play.
Yeah.
Don't be in here soaking up my air conditioner. So it's kind of forced outside just to be a kid. I think kids these days, for many reasons, I mean, of course you want your kids to be safe, but iPads, iPhones, video games, I had my ass outside.
Yeah.
Playing. I had a tree house. I was doing things that kids do.
Yeah.
So, but I found basketball early. I would stay outdoor courts playing until the street lights came on. I made my middle school team. I figured I was really good. I was one of the more athletic kids. High school, kind of the same thing. I didn't know what college was until we graduated in May. I think it was around March. I went and saw my counselor. And what are you going to do after school? I said, I guess get a job. She said, are you considering college? I'm like, people where I'm from, we don't go to college. It's like, yes, I can't afford college. So well, there are federal Pell Grants and loans. And I had no idea those things. So she sat down with me and she said, hey, you have the grades. And I work hard. I never consider myself the smartest kid in the room, but I'm a hard worker. And I think it's resonated into the gym from the classroom. So nobody wants to be at the bottom. I never wanted to be last.
Yeah.
In school, you don't really get a lot of cool points for being the smartest kid. So I kind of made sure I wasn't the dumbest kid. But if I wanted to be the smartest kid, I could have been that. Because I'm a hard worker. But I did enough. And my grades were good enough. I took the SAT. And there was a school that a lot of my friends were telling me about. They would go there for spring break, North Carolina A&T. But it wasn't for school. It was for parties and things of that nature. But I knew it was a college.
Yeah.
And I knew also they played North Carolina A&T. I mean, they played North Carolina State. They played Duke. They played Clemson. They played a lot of Division I schools locally. Right. And they would get their butts kicked, but I'm like, we still get to play them. So I think if I can go there, no scholarship, I think I can walk on. Came, saw, conquered. My freshman year, I walked onto the basketball team. We were sponsored by Jordan at the time. Our coach at the time played basketball with Michael Jordan at UNC.
Oh,
that's
His name was
Did you
Kurt.
ever get to see him?
Jordan?
Yeah.
I don't think Jordan's ever been to Greensboro, unless it was at Grandover to play golf or gamble. But his teammates, college teammate, they were still good friends. Curtis Hunter.
Oh, okay.
So at the time we were sponsored by Jordan, so we had Jordan logos on all of our jerseys.
Just do it.
Jordan shoes, 100%. So it was a good time, good opportunity. But I quickly fell out of that because that wasn't what I was at college for.
Yeah.
And a very highly accredited engineering program there. So about my sophomore year, basketball to start doing this and my grades started doing this. So I had to make a decision. Like, do you want to get out of this program or are you going to go pro? And I didn't feel like I was going to go pro at 6'2", losing every game of our college season. So I put the basketball down. But as an athlete, it instills discipline in you, consistency. And I just like how I looked, and it didn't happen by not being a product of like showing up every day. So kind of play mental games with myself, competitive games. Even now, still, I create challenges for myself. They say motivation like gets you started, but like discipline keeps you going. So,
So obviously, some people have physical limitations, and our bodies can only do so much. But how much of working out do you think is mental?
60%.
Okay. Yeah.
Again, that same thing. Motivation will get you going.
Yeah.
You can watch some YouTube videos. Your buddies can inspire you. Hey, girl, let's go to the gym. But after a while, you're going to be sore. You're going to be tired. Life happens. And that's when discipline has to kick in, and there has to be another reason. And a lot of time that reason is what I call your why. And some people lose focus of that why. And the reason I fell in love with the gym so much, because so many principles and everything I'm telling you, you can apply those everywhere. You can apply your why to your marriage. You can apply your why to finishing that doctorate. You can apply that why to when your kids are irritating you and they're not listening. They're synonymous.
Yeah.
Have you ever gone through a period in your life where you lack the discipline? Like,
I thought she asked me if I ever had a period.
That would be a real surprise.
A real change of
Like,
events.
come on, Jade. What kind of podcast is this?
And now he comes out.
I was like, Stacy, is she really asking me that?
No,
I've never had a period, Jay.
Never had a period. You've probably never had a period where you weren't disciplined, but I'm just interested because, it's so important to you. But many of us sitting on this couch, one right here, we'll go through periods where I'm so disciplined and I have it all together and I feel like I'm doing all the things and I do feel better, but then something happens and it breaks that cycle and then we feel defeated. I feel defeated sometimes. For sure. So like, have you ever had that, or what would you say to people who are in the have broken the cycle of discipline in their life and are on a bad side of fitness?
Well, discipline to me there are different areas of discipline. I try my best to be, if you're familiar with sports, like a triple-double. You can be disciplined scoring the ball all you want, but if you're not rebounding, you're not getting assists, you're not a well-rounded disciplined person. So as far as discipline with the gym and fitness, again, it comes down to your why. And a lot of times if people's why is associated with something physical, you'll lose that. But they say...
So, Stacy, you just need to stop focusing on the actual butt. Your why needs to be bigger.
Okay, listen. You're the only one who talks about my butt.
Okay.
So.
No, you do. Okay,
Hey,
Kieon, she talks about her butt too.
It's working.
It is. Everybody's talking about it.
Everybody's
Like
talking about it.
small group, it's like, how's Stacy's butt going? So I love that. I love that if your why is just a physical attribute, then you're
100%.
Probably going to lose it if your why is bigger.
The physical has to be more so the icing. But sometimes I'm a big feet.
You know what they say about people with big feet?
Big socks.
See, if I say everything that comes to my mind, it can get fun.
I know that's right.
Okay. So what is your big why? I'm interested.
It changes. Before this podcast started, we talked about just your purpose and your why and who you are evolving. You have to change. Because if you stay stuck on the same thing, not only you change as a person, but the things around us changes, life changes. I'm not sure how old you guys are, but do you remember Blockbuster Video?
Oh, yeah.
They didn't change.
Be kind, rewind.
They didn't change. Redbox, they didn't change. So if you don't change, the things around you are changing. You'll be lost. So in regards to my discipline and what's changed about me is, it goes from physical to recently, a year and a half ago, I lost my mother. And I didn't need that why, but it's just another reminder that, health is wealth. We can make all the money, we can look good on the inside, but also another aspect of health is mentally and how you feel inside. Because a lot of people look healthy on the outside, but they're so unhealthy on the inside. And that could be heart health, that could be emotionally. So, I mean, it's a triple-double. You got to be disciplined everywhere. But with me, my why transitioned from myself. I set out personal goals for myself physically. And I've always wanted to be one of those coaches, the teachers and the professors that stuck the most to me is the ones who are believable. I've had a lot of sales jobs, and the things that were easiest to sell were the things that I believed in, things I actually did. I sold shoes. I love shoes. It was easy for me to sell shoelaces because I could show you how to lace the shoelaces. Easy for me to sell shoe cleaner because I believed in people going to step on your shoes. I've had these shoes 2 years, clean them up to keep them fresh.
Wow.
So things like that. So, but my personal, as a coach, my personal discipline has changed from me physically to me wanting to not only preach what I preach, but I want to live it. I don't ask my clients. Stacy will tell you to do anything I'm not currently doing.
Yeah.
I don't ask them to show up because if I'm not showing up. And again, I go through things like life happens. I think they say life be lifing.
Yeah.
So when life happens, like anything else, it's not what happens, it's how you react to what happens.
Yeah.
So
you have a brand, No Struggle, No Progress.
yes, ma'am.
Yeah. You can check it out, get some No Struggle, No Progress swag.
100%.
But what does that mean to you? Why that statement?
My brand derived from Frederick Douglass. Is a quote: "Without struggle, there is no progress."
Mm-hmm.
And again, back to those seasons when I created the brand, it was 2011. It was a cool saying. I came up with a cool logo to put on a shirt. But until things actually mean something to you, they hit a little different. Kind of like growing up. I was having a conversation with someone the other day, like songs that we listened to as kids. We all sing songs, and we didn't really know what those songs meant until we hit a certain stage in life. It's like, wow. I was singing this when I was 12 just because it was a good song, but now it actually means something to me. It's like it's a really good song. So, I mean, just from 2011, 2014, I lost a best friend to suicide. Fall down 7, get up 8. How can I be resilient after losing a best friend? What happens? People watching me. It's do I sulk, poor me, or do I get up and keep going?
Yeah.
Losing my mother a year and a half ago. People are watching. Do I sulk? Do I pour me? Or do I show people that you can keep going? But also, too, with my clients, my skill set and what I'm able to do, I've didn't really own it until recently, but through fitness, you can change a lot of things. Tap into the mindset. I do believe strong mind, strong body. So you asked me how much was mental. So much of it is mental because you'll get to a point to where you're sore, to where you have conflicts, and it comes down to your discipline and what's important to you. So
that's good.
That's really good.
So I saw an article in the New York Times last week or a couple weeks ago, and it said that strength training, research now shows that strength training is one of the most important forms of exercise, and that you can actually live longer if you strength train. So that probably feels overwhelming to a lot of people, right? So if someone's looking to get in the gym, day one, nervous to go, or maybe people just don't go, what's your advice for someone who's just starting out or just wants to get into strength training?
The hardest part of getting ahead is getting started.
Mm-hmm.
And it looks different for everyone. I tell everyone, when you want to buy a house, you get a realtor. You look at Zillow on your own. You might drive by some houses, but you go get a realtor. No matter how much you brush your teeth, at some point you need to go see a dentist. So when you become serious about your fitness goals, it's not about even hiring a trainer, but it's just seeking expertise, whether it be self-knowledge and just getting out there. And it's the right environment as well. I do believe I've been in several gyms. You could have the best plant in the world. These plants we're looking at, are these real? No, they're fake. No. But I'm gonna keep my analogy going. But you can have the best plant, the best seeds in the world, but in the wrong dirt, wrong environments, they won't grow, they won't thrive. So your environments matter. You want to make sure that you're in an environment that you feel comfortable in. As a woman, I like to say our gym, and I'm not just saying it because it's our gym, but we have a professional crowd for the most part. Again, guys are still going to look at women. Women are still going to look at guys. But if you're in an environment or a gym to where you feel almost intimidated, to where you feel like, you know you're being looked at and you're being judged, and we all went to school and we knew those mean crowds and those, people that just didn't make us feel good. It's a feel thing. It's an energy. I'm a big energy guy. So my first advice would be to find a place that feels comfortable to you, almost feels like home. I think we're in a church right now, but I've been to several churches where I felt judged, and I've been to churches where I felt very, very comfortable. Like, I'll come back here. It's not too long. These black churches are long. They'll have you in about 3 hours. But you go to a church, it's like 45 minutes, an hour. I'm getting in and out. Church to where you feel good about yourself. And it's the same thing with the gym. to where the members are embracing. That's why not only am I the trainer, but I'm the fitness director. I try to create that energy from the top down. We speak to people. We make people. I see someone new in the gym, male, female, old person, 12-year-old. I introduce myself. Let me know if I can help. I've been in gyms where everything is like it's a sales team. We don't have a sales team. We have a membership director. He signs you up for your membership. But a place like a Gold's, like it's sales, buy. That's a bad place for someone to start or to start their fitness journey.
So being comfortable is important. And
Environments.
also, I love the fact that you did say that, we do go to specialists, we go to doctors to get this expertise advice. So maybe if you're trying to get started on this journey, it is important, even if you don't do it forever or for years and years, that you do invest a little bit of time speaking with somebody who's a specialist. But what's your recommended when people are starting? How often should they really be coming to the gym and working out and different things like that? What would be your suggestion for a beginner that's a couch potato coming to you for the first Kieon visit, and they're like, what would you do to them?
Well, it's just like this.
What would you do to them?
I wouldn't do anything to them.
The question is changing.
Now, what I recommend,
I'm asking for a friend.
I know that's right. It comes down to what you want out of it. Your goals.
Okay.
Again, someone who wants to. I train high school kids. I train people who have aspirations to be a pro. If you want to be a pro, you have to train like a pro. You have to be committed like a pro.
How young do you start seeing people?
My youngest client has been 10.
Oh, wow.
No, 9. I had a 9 and a 10-year-old, but they don't touch weights until they're 14.
Yeah.
I don't believe in putting kids under heavy loads or lifting weights until they're 14. But 9 or 10-year-old, we train for 3 or 4 years. We agility, speed, mobility. Some kids can't walk and chew bubble gum at the same time. So it's a matter of just being able to be coordinated, hand-eye coordination, moving the body. Like you said, getting off of that couch. But as for that person who, it's a conversation. Your goals might be different than hers. She might have a wedding she needs to prepare for in 6 months. We need to be a little more rigorous about that goal. For someone who's 35 years old and they've never worked out, that's 35 years of undoing bad habits. So I wouldn't say, hey, let's come 7 days a week. I would say mandatory 2 to 3 days until you feel comfortable. You're going to have some sore days. But it's all in how bad you want it. If you told me, hey, Kieon, I want to make $1,000, I would ask you, how soon do you want to make $1,000? If you told me as soon as possible, you need to come see me every day. If you told me, hey, I want to make $1,000 over a year, we can make $100 a month. We can, $25 a week. We can spread that out.
Gotcha.
So the big question, I think, for a lot of people, especially women my age, I find, is the great cardio weightlifting debate. So What are your thoughts on cardio? And how do we, is there a good balance between different types of exercise?
100%. It's not rocket science, but it's science.
Yeah.
Input equals output. So the way cardio works is cardio burns fat while you're actually doing it. The moment you get off of that hamster wheel, those stairs, that treadmill, the fat burning stops. That's what cardio is for you. Strength training, the more lean muscle mass that you build, your body's going to build that lean muscle mass, and that lean muscle mass is going to burn fat throughout the day. That's how it works. So see a lot of guys who are in shape, women who are in shape, athletes who have lean muscle mass, they're burning fat while they're watching TV at home because they're lifting weights. That cardio person that's just doing an hour of cardio, they're burning fat for probably 40 minutes because you don't get into that fat burning mode until about 15 to 20 minutes in. So they're burning fat for 40 minutes. But that person who's strength training the right way, some of the HIIT training that we do, the functional training, we're not only burning calories for 40 minutes to an hour, however long we're training, but that soreness that you feel is your body breaking the muscle fibers down and repairing them.
Lactic acid.
Talk that talk. Talk that talk.
Was it?
Yes, ma'am.
That was yeah.
This eye contact over lactic acid is making me a little uncomfortable.
Sure.
So what about something I hear a lot? I mean, and I've definitely thought about too with starting to lift more, is a lot of women fear getting bulky, or they're like, I don't want to lift because I don't want to get, I don't want to look like a dude, or I don't want to look bulky.
I told someone this yesterday. Their dudes have been coming to the gym for years, and dudes don't even look like dudes. So that image that you have, that you're fearful of looking over, they're guys that can't look that way, and they actively try. So again, I would recommend seeking a professional, or we have everything from Chat GPT to AI. You can figure out things. You could type in what are the how to be in shape as a woman or anything. I do recommend and think that nothing will actually replace the human experience. I have clients online clients as well, side note, but they don't reap the benefits of the in-person clients because nothing will replace the human interaction, being able to gauge the weight, correct form. But yeah, that's a myth. Unless you're doing anabolic supplements, testosterone or things of that nature, but a woman coming in working on her arms and her body, she's not going to look like a man.
Do you have any do you also couple with your training, not just physical, but the diet part, the nutrition part? Is that something you focus on?
100%. So I do provide nutritional guidance, but I'm not a nutritionist. So any of your viewers who are listening to a personal trainer giving you step-by-step nutritional advice, they can be sued. They shouldn't be doing that. But nutritional guidance, the do's and don'ts, what a balanced meal looks like, how to count your macros. I'm not a big fan of counting. I don't train bodybuilders or competitors for that reason. That's probably a whole nother topic, but too much of the vanity kind of takes away from the purpose and the why of why we're doing this. I think a lot of that, to get on stage for a panel of 3 to 4 people to say, yeah, she looks better than you, he looks better, like that, it's demoralizing for a lot of people. It breaks a lot of people down emotionally, and it kind of takes the fun away from like what we're doing and like the focus of actually health. I have another quote full of what we call Keonisms. Everybody's idea of fitness isn't healthy. If that makes sense to you. So a lot of people who do things to contribute to their fitness goals that aren't healthy, whether that means starving themselves, whether that means taking ill-advised supplements, whether that means just some of these crash diets. To me, it's a lifestyle. I always tell my clients the same thing you're doing at 32, I want you to be doing at 62.
That's good.
That'll
so
be
thinking
awesome.
about a plan that you can do for a long time,
especially
and keep up.
No, for sure. It's a lifestyle. It's a lifestyle.
Yeah. That's good. Well, that was very helpful. Gosh, good stuff. So as we wrap up, 2 questions for you. One, so if we were to boil it down to the take-home message, the person who wants to get in the gym, get healthy, stay there, what's your 1 or 2 pieces of advice on that?
Again, I said it earlier, the hardest part of getting ahead is getting started.
Yeah.
Make sure you're in the right environment.
Yeah.
Accountability partners help, but don't rely on them, because remember that your goal is no one else's. So let's just say you and Jade start this journey together, and I'm waiting on my workout partner, and I always say life be lifing. So life happens. So Jade might she might get sick. She might have some things going on with her kids, and she can't come. Pause. That shouldn't stop you from showing up.
Yeah.
So environments, accountability partner.
But it should motivate you to get on my tail.
Yeah.
And get me back in.
Especially.
Right? That would be,
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I love that. And I think, at the Sports Center and kind of the community that you've created there is good and positive and healthy. And I think that's one reason why it feels almost addictive to me, like going there with other people who want to be there, who are positive, who encourage you, who ask where you've been when you miss a few days. Like that's so helpful. So I definitely believe in that community piece.
Yep.
So that's great. Lastly, we kind of led with this idea of success and talking to people about success. So how would you define success?
Fitness success or success in general?
How about,
and it might be the same answer.
You hit both? Or you pick one.
I feel
Well,
like
can you?
I feel like success looks different for everybody.
Uh-huh.
So success to me might be purchasing a G-Wagon or
Yeah.
I don't know, 500-pound squat.
Mm-hmm.
To someone else, success might be, hey, I showed up 5 days this week for 4 weeks consecutive and I'm down 5 pounds. That's success. And I always advise people, don't get caught up in watching someone else highlight reel, whether it be on Instagram or social media, because that can be demoralizing. Whether it be their success, their happiness, their fitness goals or journey, because you never know what other athletes or people might be taking, what they might be doing to their body, how they might be manipulating their pictures. And meanwhile, it's fucking with your head and your psyche, and it's affecting how you're looking at yourself. So remember, they're your goals, no one else's. As far as when it comes to success, it looks different for everyone. To me, success is gauged on your origin to where you are, your origin to where you're going, not necessarily the destination. I would say be more focused on the journey versus the destination, because that finish line, like that bar, should always be moving. I'm a big fan and believer. You should be still learning.
Do you feel successful, Kieon?
I feel successful and progressive. I don't feel like I made it,
Yeah.
because when I get to the old me would look at where I am now and say you made it. But again, as an advocate of still learning, I feel like when you stop learning, you stop growing. And when you stop moving that scale or that end point, then you kind of lose sight of everything. So it's good to put yourself around like-minded people, even to go back to your first question. Again, your environments, your community, accountability partners, and you can't outwork a bad diet. So let that be known as well. I don't think we touched on that.
That's terrible news, Kieon. That's just terrible news.
It's the hardest part.
You can't outwork a bad
we just
diet.
talk about it all the time. Why does it do so much to my dope? I mean, it makes me.
I
feel
know
so
eating bad feels good.
And it's not so much.
No, you're not going to help us on this one.
It's not so much eating like a bird or a parrot. It's balance. It's like we reward our kids, we reward people, our students with, if you do good for this long, we'll give you these days off. So start small goals. Hey, I'm going to eat 3 days clean. Then I'm going to have a glass of wine. 3 to 1 that works. Yeah, I know.
I was
feel
thinking
it.
about zebra cakes.
We're talking about donuts and cheese dip
I
here.
was considering wine. Like
You got to put the zebra cakes in the microwave for 11 seconds.
Ooh, 11 seconds.
11.
Really?
Yeah?
100%.
Okay.
So,
We gotta try
Kieon,
this.
I've already confessed to the listeners before,
All
but I
right.
did a fast at the beginning of the year.
Congrats.
Well, I'm getting to the bad part.
right.
So we're like 3 days in, and I just emotionally come home and I take out the big zebra cake and I eat it all. And then I feel immediately guilty and I call Stacy and I'm like, I'm a loser. I just stuffed my face with a zebra cake. But they're so good.
So it was more of a jog. It wasn't a fast.
I did redo it. I did get back on it, and I finished it ish.
Reward yourself. Remember, small things are big things. Small things are big things. So it's not about a week straight. Again, success looks different for everybody.
Yeah.
Success for someone might be, hey, showing up 7 days in a row. Success for you might say, hey, I'm going to go 3 days a week. And if you hit that 3 days, that's success.
Yeah.
Only one
it's
zebra cake a
consistency.
week. Success.
100%. You might have started, again, someone might judge you off that one zebra cake, not knowing you started at 4 zebra cake.
Yeah, that's true. That's
So,
true. And I did. I had a great accountability partner. She was like, does not define you, Jade.
That's right.
Get back up.
And there,
Drink a glass of water.
and there are healthy alternatives to snacks, even protein shakes. Like today, I remember when I first started doing protein shakes, they taste like dirt. But now some of the supplements and the proteins and the
You should have a protein shake party. And we could try out all the different ones, take little shots of them.
That'd be great.
And then, that would be... Listeners, are you wanting a protein
Protein
shake?
party shake with Kieon.
I think that would be so fun. Look, I can, yeah. I feel passion right now.
talk that talk.
Let's do it.
I really would love to love a protein shake because you were sick when you were drinking your organic AF drink, and you were like, I'm sick, I don't want you to try it. But,
but that's not protein.
That's not protein.
Have you had any of the organic drinks?
No, I haven't had any.
I should have brought you one over. Maybe we're right next door. I have some in my office. I'd love for you to try them.
Okay. Yeah.
Shout out to Organic AF in High Point.
Yes, ma'am, especially.
That's right. So, and I feel like if our listeners have any questions, you should post your questions below.
Yeah.
And
maybe we'll do some workout videos at the gym. We can
I love it.
Post for the listeners.
Yeah, we do them anyway.
How you get that butt, you know?
That's not going to be the title.
How you get
that butt.
How you get that butt.
Stacy Lynn, we talk and we meet with all these people and we do all these things because why?
Because we love you.